Hello students, hope you all are doing well. So in this lecture we'll just see the concept of inline function. Okay, so as its name suggests, inline means a function that is going to expand in a single line. Okay, that is going to expand in a line. So what happens for a normal function, if we have a function, for example add. Okay, so let us suppose this is a function add. Okay, and this is the function, you can say this is the function call. Okay, inside this main, okay, we are just calling this function, and here is the definition of this function. For example, this is the function definition. Okay, and let us suppose this is some return type. Okay, this is the return type. So what happens, as the program starts, as the program is going to execute, the first line that is going to execute is the calling part. Okay, so the program will be executed from this calling part. So in the normal function, the this particular calling part, what it does, when the control is at the calling part, there are there are certain steps that a compiler do. So first of all, the compiler will store the address. Okay, the compiler will store the address of the next instruction to be executed. Okay, address of next instruction to be executed. Okay, so it will store the address on the stacks or in the form of the program counter. The next step is the control will be transferred from the calling function to the called function. Okay, so the control will be, the next step is the control will be transferred from the calling function to the call function. So this is the next step. Control transfer from calling to function definition, you can say. Okay, and the third step is that after the function definition is over, after the processing is over, again the control is transferred back, to the calling function. Okay, so you can say there are the steps are like that. Okay, this is main. Okay, this is the function, for example add. Okay, that is the, this is the calling function, and this is the function definition that is having some return type. Okay, and the name of the function. Okay, and here these are the statements. So the first, it will store the address of the next instruction to be executed. So it will, after this function call will occur, it stores on the stack that what is the next task that it will do. So this particular process will, it compiler will, you can say, devote some time in this particular process. So for example, 1 unit of time, 1 unit of time is dedicated to this particular process. So after this, the control will be transferred from this calling part to the call part. Okay, so you can say, in doing this particular transfer, 1 unit of time is also, you can say, is dedicated by the compiler. Okay, so in all there are 2 units of time that is dedicated in this particular activities. Now after this particular activity is going to complete, it means all the statements inside this definition, if they are executed or the function definition part is executed, again the control will be transferred from this definition part to this particular called okay, to the calling function. So again, some units will be, okay, devoted by the compiler. Okay, so in all, okay, in all, if we can say that if we are calling a normal function, so 3 units we are, okay, we are reserving 3 units in this particular task. So you can say 3 units of, we have 3 units have been dedicated, okay, in all this context switching and all type of operations. But let us suppose if the statements are less. So for example, if we have only 2 or 3 statements, okay, in our function definition, okay, so in executing 2 or 3 statements, or for example if we just take only 2 statements, okay, so if there are only 2 statements, okay, in our function definition, so in the execution of these 2 statements, okay, in the execution of these 2 statements, the computer will take, or the system will take, or the compiler will take, okay, only 2 units of time, okay, or we can say only 2 units are dedicated, okay, in execution of 2 statements. Or if the statements are less than 2, or it can be said that if there is only a single statement, or there is only a one statement, then in execution of this single statement only 1 unit of time, or only 1 unit is required, rather than, okay, 3 units that are dedicated in the context switching. Okay, so if, what we can say that when we are executing a function, okay, then we can say that we are, okay, we are devoting more time, okay, the more time will be taken by the compiler in the execution, okay, because the statements, okay, depends upon the number of statements that the function contains, okay. But here what is happening, the compiler is taking, okay, a single unit of time, or a 2 units of time in executing these small statements, okay, or if the statements are only one or two, as compared to the time taken, okay, in the context switching. Okay, so this 2 units of time is less than this 3 units of time, okay, that is taken in the context switching. Okay, so we can say that if the execution of, this is the execution time taken in the execution of function body, okay, so this is the time taken, this is the time, okay, taken in execution of function body, and this is the time taken, okay, in the context switching, that is the overall time. Okay, so if this time, that is the execution time of the function, is less than, okay, the total time, then we can say that the overhead is more. Okay, overhead is more, it means because here the compiler or the system is doing, okay, is dedicating more time, so it is not a good practice if the size of the function body is small, or if the function body is containing few or very few statements. Okay, so in such a case, okay, in such a case, in order to make, okay, the execution a bit fast, okay, when the number of statements in the function definition are less, okay, or we can say the function definition is not too complex, we will go with inline. Okay, we will go with inline. Okay, so this inline function, what it does, okay, this inline function will now, okay, it will, you can say it will reduces this particular activity of context switching. So when we are using the inline function, okay, so this inline function, okay, it will not performing, okay, all these 3 activities. Okay, these 3 activities means the, there is no, okay, no address that is to be saved. Okay, no, you can say no addresses is to be saved. Second, there is no, okay, control transfer from calling function. And third is no control transfer from the called function. Okay, so these three steps, okay, we are just reducing. Okay, so inline function is doing, okay, it is expanding in a line. It means when this function call, okay, so this is the function call and this is the function definition that is containing some return type. Okay, and this is, you can say, this is the particular process. So this particular function call here, okay, it will be replaced. Okay, this function call will be replaced, okay, by the particular, okay, statement, or by the particular process, okay, or the particular logic that we are writing inside the definition. Okay, so there is no transfer, no context switching between the call and the callee function. Okay, so I will just, okay, I will just explain this with the help of an example. Okay, we'll just see this with the help of an example, that what exactly is happening. So here we'll just create a program. Okay, so we'll just see it with the help of an example. So for example, okay, we are more interested in adding two numbers. So what we are doing, okay, what we do, we'll just include a header, okay, using namespace std. So now we are, okay, we are just creating, okay, we are just, okay, defining the function. So we are not declaring it, we are just defining. So I'll just write int, okay, let us suppose the name of the function is sum, okay, and it contains two variables of type integer. Okay, so before this return type, okay, we have to put the keyword inline. Okay, so this inline is a keyword, okay, that we are going to put before the name of the function or before the return type. Okay, so inside this, what we are going to write, we are just returning. Okay, so we'll just write return a plus b. Okay, so now the function, we are just using the main, and here we just write, okay, for example, cout sum is, and we just write, we just call sum, and let us suppose we pass two numbers 10 comma 20. Okay, so when this function, okay, when the compiler sees, when we are just doing the compilation, so this inline mechanism or inlining is done during the time of compilation. So the compiler sees that the function is inline as it contains this keyword. Okay, so what compiler will do, compiler will just replace, okay, it will just replace this function call, okay, or it will just substitute this particular statement. Okay, this particular statement, that is this a plus b, okay, will be substituted or will be replaced in the function call. Okay, so the exactly we are just, okay, the compiler is just copying this particular line, okay, and it is just copying, or it is just substituting this line in the function call. There is no calling caller mechanism. Okay, so this particular overhead is reduced, or you can say the function is expanded in line. So here the compiler is substituting the function definition to this particular area where the function is called, and we'll just get the particular desired output. Okay, so it is said that this inline is only a request to the compiler. It is only a request. This is only a request to the compiler. It is up to the compiler. It is up to the compiler whether to treat a function inline or not. We can't predict. It is not possible for a programmer to predict that his function is behaving inline if he has declared the function inline. It is only a request. We are only suggesting the compiler to please treat this function as inline, but if the compiler wants, then it can ignore our request also. So it's not like that if we are making a function inline, that it will be an inline function. It is completely dependent upon the compiler to ignore this particular request. So you have to keep in mind that inline is only a request. It is not an order. It is only a request to the compiler. So this inline function, you can say it is suitable. It is suitable only for the function body, having few statements. So this is a C++ rule that it is only suitable for the function body having few statements, or we can say if a function body is only having one or two or three statements, then it is suitable. Else we are not going to use the inline function, because it will also have some disadvantage. The disadvantage is that if the function body is containing too many statements, if there are too many statements, then obviously the more time will be required in processing these particular statements. So if a function body is containing 100 statements or 200 statements, then we can say 200 units will be dedicated. 200 units will be dedicated, or we can also say that the added statements will consume more registers in the memory. Because the statements will contain, these added statements will also have some variables. And these variables will contain, or these statements will contain, it will, if we include more statements in function body, then inline, or then making function inline is not required. Because more the statements, more the registers or the memory space it will consume. And if there is more memory space, then there is, you can say, there is a problem. There is a problem that memory blotting will occur. A blotting will occur because you are using too many statements, and these statements will also acquire more space. Because when the compiler is just replacing the particular definition part with the calling part, so all these variables will also be inserted, and as a result of which they will be acquiring more registers. And the cost of the registers will be increased, so more overhead will be there. So inlining is done basically to reduce the overhead. Inlining is done to reduce the overheads. The overhead means the overheading of the control or the return statements. The overheading of the calling and calling function. So these type of overheads we are okay, if the inlining is there, so these type of overheads will not be there, but it is only when the function definition is containing few statements. If the statements are large, or if the function definition contains too complex statements, okay, if there is too many looping, too many okay switch case statements, okay, if there are excess of loops, okay, or you can say there are more static variables, okay, or you can say if the switch case statements are there, switch case statements are there, and we can say if the function is recursive, if we are using too many recursive functions inside the function body, then the compiler will okay, it will ignore, okay, rather if we have created the function inline, then the compiler will ignore our request, okay, it will not okay make the, it will not treat the function as inline, okay, though we will get the required output, but the inlining will not be there, or the compiler handling mechanism will be different, or the compiler handling okay mechanism will change, okay. So inlining will not be there if these certain cases will arise in our function definition, okay. So it is okay, it is a, you can say, suggestion that try not to use okay inline function everywhere, because excess of inlining has also disadvantages of memory blocking, okay. So we'll just use inline function when there is only a single statement, okay, and we can't see, okay, we can't see the okay the exact time that how this particular statement is compiling, because it is completely abstraction, okay, because internally compiler is doing these tasks, okay. So for the user it is very difficult to understand that what has exactly happened, okay, how you will compare this inline function with a normal function. So for a user it is very difficult to check, but the compiler will internally process, or the compiler will internally handle this mechanism, okay. So I hope this is clear to you now. Thanks.